Alright, here we are starting up again with a little black flag. Leaving us for last time, we need to meet Blackbeard, but it is going to take a month to meet him, which we could just go on and do that, but instead we're going to go and do some of the DLCs, that is starting with Black Isle, or Island, one of those two, and yeah, this is it. We kind of made it there in the, like, ending credits or whatever, the last scene. But yeah, it's just a little island here that we're going to try and make our way up to the tippy top. We got to find 3 of Morgan's treasures. And I guess we'll see what they are. Or at least hear what they are. I don't know if I try them on. Yeah, may have went the wrong... I don't know if... I don't know if I went the wrong way or not. But I guess we're gonna start over. And, yeah. Okay, so, we're back down at the bottom. It was a lot simpler than I was making it. Whatever I did, going up that... Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. We're gonna go this way. Through the little tunnel of flowers. And we gotta get over to that thing to swing across. And boom, we find some guards. And as you can see there, the British flag stands tall, and there's not too much of an island, but of course it's covered in red. So we probably need to sneak around.
Hold on.
Nope. Bye. Oh, I guess we're holding.
I have a clear shot.
Don't shoot me. Ow. Things are just difficult for me right now. I can't get counters, can't do anything. Alright, so we're gonna try and make that our first one. Yeah, that seems reasonable. It's right straight ahead of us. Actually, there doesn't seem to be too many guards, which is kind of nice. Hopefully none of these guys see us. No, thank you. I ran into the bush. That means it was nothing. The one guy ran right past him. He didn't see anything at all.
I think not. Get back here now.
Yes, yes. Bye. You shouldn't have said anything, douchebag. You're next. Crap.
Get out here, shrubber.
Negative. Well, that's easy enough. Edward, don't mess around. The black sails. The black ship's figurehead. Sorry. Okay, there. That must be the second one, and then the third one. We can loot the plantation while we're here. Yeah, that would not break my legs at all. Don't ring the bell. This is like scary music. Ooh. Okay, maybe not this part. Remember the last one we cut down? If there's a cutscene, Edward, that doesn't work. Leave the area. And why would it be emptied? I guess we were noticed. What the heck is this music, dude?
You shit!
What? Ooh, did he swear? He's a naughty boy. A bird's eye view would give that guy the perfect eyesight to see into this. I at least kind of understand those guys. Because, you know, they got layers of sugar plants or whatever that is to look through. I should have just taken him out.
Hold mine. Stand still. Aye, stop.
Come on up here and investigate your friend. Great. You're next, dude. Oh, gosh. We'll take him first.
Alarm! Rouse you!
Do not rouse the alarm. He got... That's great. I'm lucky I took that guy out first. That's it. Just in case. Now what are you gonna do, huh? Get our key from this guy here. You'll wake up in a while. Oh, now we have to deal with this guy. These guys are the worst, dude.
Lovely clear shot.
You know who else has a clear shot? He got me with his gun through that wood. Must have been a hole in it. Great. None of the bells are active? I don't think. Rum? Well, I guess we get Morgan's pistol, which is nice. But the whole rum thing, I mean, whatever. Alright, I believe that's chest number 2. We don't get too much from it. Chest number 3. Oh, wait, there was 5 of them. There's 2 yellow ones. And 3 white chests. This is number 3 here. We still gotta get that other one anyways. The one next to the viewpoint. So we'll probably get the viewpoint as we, you know, get that chest. Oh, it's too close to the blade, I guess. In hindsight, this is probably easier anyways. Get out there. What the heck? Huh. Pretty cool. And that's Black Island. Or Black Isle. We can jump off, break our legs on these rocks, head back to the boat, and head on to our next destination. And that happens to be Mystery Island. where we're gonna go next here. We'll see what that's all about. Yeah, sure, we'll go. Yeah, apparently Black Island's real. So, apparently it's like way, way up north, though. I think. I don't know. You guys can correct me on that. Mystery Island here. Maybe a mystery. Bonnets. We're gonna find Bonnets treasures this time. These ones don't seem too complicated. Oh, these are separate islands. There's a couple of them. Should be mystery islands. And of course, they're restricted to us. And it appears... I mean, they have dummies dressed up as British soldiers. I would assume that it's not the British that occupy these islands. Come on out, kitty cat. Yeah, you messed up. Hide. Oh, bandits, or I mean, bandits. Looks like maybe pirates or something. Take that, dude. We skinned the jaguar, not the guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there was 5 of them again. 2 yellows and 2 whites. There's a guy down there. Be very, very quiet. You'd think that he would have heard me trip on that tree branch. I like getting those. Sometimes they have like mortar shot or something in them. I'm thinking that our first treasure chest is up top there. There she is, unguarded, ready for us to take. The... Oh. It was a figurehead, I know that much. I think it said Revenges. Or Ravengers? I don't know what it said, but we know it's a figurehead. Just out on this little island with a bunch of booze bottles. Looks like a couple of the beaches I've been to. Not like the nice ones, but like the crappy lake beaches. I don't even know if you can consider those a beach. It's a lake. I do, because, you know, I don't live next to the ocean, but, you know, sometimes I'm there, and the beaches seem nicer. Alright, well, you know, Mystery Island's pretty cool looking. I would assume that it takes a really long time to get to these places. Blackbeard's been waiting for like at least 3 months. He's like, I told Kenway to meet me here in 1 month. What? Come on! Oh, yep, not the time to whistle, Edward. Just making sure. Gold tiara. That'd fetch a nice price. I wonder where this stuff was all taken from. Like, what kind of a king has a gold tiara? I guess they could have had it made or whatever. Chances are it was stolen from somebody. I'm just gonna jump us to the next treasure, because this is embarrassing. Thank you for your patience. We get the sales. ULC. Chest next. Over here on the island to the north. Guys, I got like 4 pistols. Alright, I guess they're the only ones loaded. I should have thought about that. This guy over here is good. He's minding his own business. He clearly saw that. He was like, I didn't like those guys anyway. We hit Steve Bonnet's attire. I don't know if I want that one. Now he's like, well, you're touching my boxes now. He obviously didn't care that much. I assume with all the rotting wood and things like that, that's a lot of guys right here. They're just partying. Let's just avoid them. That Edward died of some disease. Some woodborne illness. Like, I don't know what it would have been. You know, some fungus. I wanted to check the rest of the island and do some other stuff, so... But there's nothing really around, so... We head back to the ship and move on. We move on to Sacrifice Island. I assume that we're going to meet Indiana Jones there. I like this song. It's a good one. It's catchy. It's not one of the ones I find myself like singing along to. Bully in the Alley. I like that one. Sing along to that one. Alright, here we are on Sacrifice Island. Drake's treasures this time. And of course there's 3. These ones is on one island, so that's kind of nice. Gosh, I don't know what other ones. But there's a couple that I find myself sing along to. Yeah, we know it's a restricted area. Lucky for us, there's always people not paying attention. Oh, you made the wrong choice paying attention. Maybe not, though. This guy's good. Little hockey check on him. His buddies didn't hear the commotion. come on. They would have emptied this out already. It's sitting right there. Drake's outfit. I bet that one looks cool. We'll have to check these out later, maybe. Edward's gonna die making decisions like this. Rolling up the corners of rocks. Let's see, this one seems to be inside of the rock. Oh, it's way up there. Maybe we shouldn't have jumped down, Ed. Can I call you Ed? Huh. That was a stupid dead end. Why even have it there at all? Odd. Okay, here we go. Slide off. That's, I mean, come on, that's a far jump. Can I get back up? Dude, do not tell me I can't get back up there. Oh, perfect. You're going down, dude, because you're walking around. It's probably a much easier way than what I'm doing. Oh, okay, there's a little ledge here. Oh, would you look at that? Nothing crazy there. We can move on closer to our viewpoint and get the next treasure chest. I feel like Edward would be a better fortune teller, knowing where all these chests were. You're going to find a chest at exactly this location, as long as nobody else has opened it first. All you need to do is pay me whatever's inside of it, plus interest. That one would have been $356. Yeah, I think we've been in the game long enough. We know how the viewpoints work. Game. It's kind of a nice little island, though, huh? I'd like to go to some of these places. And oh, that's cool. They have like a little pool. Not a pool, but a reflecting pool. Is that what that would be? Maybe it is a pool. Either way, this place looks pretty cool. I would have had maybe back up on the top another house up that way. And I don't know, maybe that would have been like the king's house or something. We're gonna fight inside this tent.
There is nowhere you can run.
Brought over Robin Hood. Probably an alligator pit. There's bones down here. Captain Drake's sword. And his pistols. We're just taking everything from Captain Drake. We don't care anymore. Alright, we might as well take the conveniently placed boat out of the mystery island and continue on with our adventure. What we have going next for us is going to be hitting up the main quest again.
Captain has the helm.
Yes, please. That's a hint, guys. Right there. That's... I feel like it should say, like, tutorial. I don't know if that's a hint. You know what we should do, though? Oh, the icons for these islands don't turn yellow. They should. It's misleading. Anyways, what I was saying is, what I think we should do is check out our newly found and acquired loot. Oh, Edward, you're looking a little old. Let's see, ram strength, and we got all the materials for it. Let's do it. And we're at 14,000. Ram strength is now full, just like round shot strength. I think I have a couple of them full. I don't think it's all of them, though. Let's see here. Black and red sails. Those look, I mean, whatever. Black sails. Those are very clean and look nice. Death vessel. Black skull sails. I like those. Alright. Let's move on to some clothing. I know we got steeds clothes and stuff, so British, let's see, what do we got? Blah blah blah. Ezio Altair. Captain Drake's sword. That was cool. Pistol swords, those are sweet. Edward Kenway's unique ones. Dual cleavers. I don't know if I like that. I think French dress. Alright, how about pistols? Captain Morgan's pistols and Captain Drake's pistols. They're kind of similar. They're pretty cool looking. Oh, that one's, yeah, the gold flintlocks are 5.5 what, 3? I think we might have to go with those. Outfits. Cap Morgan. Oh, that's a cool one, actually. Steed. Yeah, that's his. And Drake's. I like Morgan's outfit. I don't even like the legendary one. That was kind of cool. But, anyways, we're gonna stick with what we know for now. Alright, let's go and start the next mission. Alright, we finally catch up with Blackbeard here. 1 month later.
Starboard, Cap. Some wreck's cargo adrift here, sir. Reef in, all tops! Hey-o, Bonnet! Flying your own flag at last.
Yes, Blackbeard cut me loose, sadly. Time to have a go at this myself.
Well, that's grand.
Yes, it's for the best, I think. I should have some wild stories when next we meet. Edward, your constant friendship has been my most treasured find on these seas. Well above gold and silver and rum, I prize the courage you have inspired in me this year. Thank you, sir. A fair good morrow to you.
Well, that's nice. I don't know if we'll ever see Bonnet again, but that was nice. Also, word is Blackbeard did not have any respect for Bonnet as being a pirate. Oh, here we go.
Are you not loved, home? Are you not wanted by your wives, and families, and countrymen? How else to explain your government's complete disinterest in your well-being? Hostages for medicines! These were my only terms. Yeah. 6 days of pure fucking silence. So I must conclude that you men are the pariahs of Charlestown, and I would profit better by using your organs for chum and your bones for charm. By Christ! This is my predicament. Kill you, or to press you into my service. It's a decision I'll make hardly, but not with remorse. Ahoy, Edward.
What the hell are you doing, man? All of Charleston can see this mess.
It's the idea. Out of range, but well in sight.
So where's the medicine?
We sent a party ashore to partner with the governor. That were a week ago. No noise since.
I'll handle it. Give me a day.
There's movement up ahead. Is it soldiers?
Aye, and in something of a hurry. I propose we follow, else they spring something we ain't ready for.
What you thinking?
Blackbeard's been at this 8 days already. So it's a good bet someone out there has prepared the medicines, just in case.
Ah, but they're stalling. Thinking up ways to avoid paying it out.
Aye, so let's find where they've gathered, and hope for the best. More sail, all we've got.
Careful, Captain. We're drifting close to a watchtower.
Lose the mains.
There's another watchtower.
Come off the wind, someone.
Keep her at half sail, Captain. Speed will do us no favors here.
More
Careful
sail.
with the banks. We cannot pass them undetected, Captain. And there is no other way.
There's always another way.
All stop!
Alright, another way. We must sabotage the bell so that when we pass by, the other guards can't be alerted, I suppose. Making good use of our dart gun. Yep, check on your buddy. We can sabotage the bell real quick. And I guess continue on. I shouldn't have gone up there. Alright, back on to the Jackdaw. Thanks, gents.
Lose the mains.
I see them. Over there. Let us hope the river remains this wide.
This ship's built for the open ocean, not stuck in bayous.
If we run aground here, we may never get out.
I mean, yeah, he's not wrong.
Sure they don't spy us trailing them.
Thank you. Could you imagine how many trees we're hitting right now? Like we'd be breaking every branch.
Steady as she goes, Captain.
We gotta keep up with these guys all day.
They're getting away, Captain.
Then I'll have to go on without her.
Yes.
I'll be back. With the medicines.
Aye, sir.
Captain's gone for a swim. Fancy a swim, do ya? Three crocodiles. I don't know if we're gonna make that. There's one. There's two. Alright, maybe on our way we can find a third one. This can put to sleep a human or a crocodile. Mosquitoes. Okay, yep.
I think it's true what they say about Blackbeard. The fire strikes out from his head, as if from some volcano.
If he's not the devil himself, then surely he's made some pact with hell. Only be thankful his ship remains anchored and hasn't torn a path into the heart of Charlestown.
Bloody pious. Someone ought to do something.
Well, we hunted down eventually. Every last of them. Who's that there? Two old gators come for their supper. I know, the old mucker. Warm's nigh, isn't it? We'll talk about the weather another time, mate. Bit of a hurry.
Alright, we got the bell.
You there! Stop!
I'd rather not. Should we sleep dart them?
He's trying to get away!
Can we get away? Oh, it looks like we can probably just get away.
Got land crates, dirty puddle load.
One would suppose all this was for gold. Old rum at least.
Nothing but to aboard their vessel.
Syphilis and scurvy, no doubt. What noxious coffins these pirate ships must be.
Need actually listen to the
Yeah.
You there?
Might as well not waste the darts if I don't have to. They'll chuck on him. And then they won't anymore. Because they're like, oh, he just fell asleep.
Good. Captain Wyatt is not a patient man.
Hello! Is that Raider yonder?
The very same.
Then speed along, you're expected. And you know how...
Oh, Christ!
He took him! He took him, I told you!
Just row! For God's sake, row!
I told you there was something, didn't I tell you? Oh, God.
Let's just get out of here!
Yeah, that was rough. Specifically for the guy that got eaten. But maybe I saved his life when I put that third alligator to sleep. 2 birds, 1 stone, and all that. We're trying to conserve the stones over here, so... You know, we don't... Nobody kills 1 bird with 1 stone. That's dumb.
I apologize. It was an accident. Private Simon! This crocodile.
I don't care about your accidents. What's the word from the harbor, soldier? Speak.
No change, sir. They're holding fast, but are yet to kill or maim any of the captives, near as we can tell. Perhaps it's time to...
To surrender? I've been entrusted with the affairs of the town, and I do not intend to bow to the demands of a pirate, no matter how fierce his reputation.
Yes, sir.
As As long as the supply key is with me, no man shall touch that medicine. May plague and calamity strike them all.
Bloody idiot.
What? Pirates! The ship's here! Pirates! Fall back to the mansion!
I'll have I yet. I'll teach you.
What? We did all that work for nothing. Still rang the stupid bell. Ugh. What, did this place get ransacked recently or something? Why is it so messy looking? I bet the mansion looks great. Excuse me. Do something. Oh gosh. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Oh, come on. We can still get him.
Oh God! Oh God, save me! And flay all you devils! Ah!
Blackbeard made you as good an offer as ever a man got from any pirate. You might curse his methods, but medicine was all he wanted. And now he'll get it. You should have bartered, mate.
He has returned, Captain!
What's the take? 2 crates. And the means for mixing additional doses.
That's right thinking. Precious little of that these days.
You hear that, Mr. Rags? My young friend returns with offerings and so saves your scrawny neck.
Will you not thank him?
You should quit these waters, Thatch. The governor, he's bound to muster more soldiers.
You go on ahead. I got some business in the north.
You're done, aren't you? Giving up on us. On Nassau.
Look, lad. I'm late into my 4th decade on this earth. And if I don't find some means to make the 5th quiet and cozy voyage, I'd rather sink to the devil's doorstep than call myself captain another year. We'll meet again, lad. In this world. Or the one below.
Thatch is taking her easy up north. It looks like we're being pulled from the Animus.
Do you have a minute? I'm on my way upstairs. IDVA wanted to talk with us about putting together a trailer using some of the footage you've been recording this past month. Take your time. I'll meet you by the elevator.
That's gonna be pretty sweet. I think it's very important to remember that the real story is the story that's taking place outside of the Animus. Inside the Animus is very cool.
Really?
What are you nerds up to?
Yeah. With the highest levels of security clearance from 17 different countries, Abstergo actually has a legal right to arrest and detain people too. It's crazy.
Huh. I'm sure that won't come into play later. Yeah, anyways. Obviously, Abstergo's looking for something.
Are you ready? He's waiting for us.
Okay, I'm coming. But, yeah, the real story is here. Why do I have to do this?
I just watched some of your footage from this week. It's amazing. Blackbeard was mental. And we all got so excited that we started talking about this idea for a trailer about him. Maybe start with him drinking, talking to some pirates, telling a story. Then, we cut to him leaping across the deck of his boat and... Sorry, his ship, not boat. But jumping around the deck of his ship, swinging from ropes, and fighting like a devil. I mean, obviously we're gonna have to manipulate some of the existing footage to get it looking good, but it could be great. I'm getting a shiver in my timbers just thinking about it. Sorry.
I like Melanie and Olivier. For the little bit of time we've interacted with them, they seem really cool. They don't seem like your average Abstergo people, but maybe it's just a big
I
ruse.
hope we're not late.
No, you can go right.
Hi, Melanie. I saw you just walked in. I need a few minutes with you alone. Laetitia is on the phone and we're discussing the Kenway project.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry about this. I'll call you when we're ready.
Shouldn't be long.
Alright, perfect. We'll just wait here in the waiting area.
Hello? Hello? Do you have a second? Of course you do. Head to the waypoint on your map. I have another job for you. I'd like to link all the cameras in the building to a central monitoring system, but most aren't calibrated correctly. Head to the right of Olivier's office. And if the receptionist complains, act like you're using the toilets.
Okay. I mean, she's whatever. She's zoned
You need
out.
to use the toilets. They're just here on the right.
Thanks. Yeah, no.
Might be a few newspapers lying around too.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I left before you even said anything. I guess we won't wait in the waiting area.
Another locked door. Not a problem. Voila. You now have level 2 security clearance. Not bad for your first few weeks. I'll update your communicator.
I feel like as the IT guy, you should be doing this. But I get why you're not.
Oh, this is an interesting security measure. It looks like you need to find the right combination of numbers to adjust the wave. Easy enough, right? Pick a number selector, then change its value. Once you find the right combination of numbers, you should get access.
Okay, we should kind of remember this from one of the previous games. It's a little bit different, but we can get through this easy enough. Boom, there it is. 275.
It works.
And if we want information on assassins or Templars or the observatory or whatever the fuck else interests us, Olivier, you will deliver it. Full stop.
Uh-huh.
I understand that, Laetitia. I'm sorry if that came out wrong. We are not trying to be a bottleneck here, but we just don't have the resources right now to do 2 times the research.
Finding that balance is your priority. Your entertainment products are simply a means to pay the bills for larger and more important work. That's the way the world works. Dirty money buys clean hospitals. You get it?
We're on board, Letitia, rest assured. We have our best employee working on this, but it will take time.
That means you.
Good. And thank you. The both of you. I look forward to seeing what you deliver. Until then, I'll see you at the shareholders meeting, Olivier.
Looking forward to it. Bye-bye. Tabarnak! It's a little too early for that kind of abuse, huh? Come on.
So, what's next?
We do as the lady says. Focus on the observatory.
Assassins, Templars, crazy talk. I'm curious about this shareholders meeting, though. How about you break into Olivier's office and see if you can find his schedule? Oh, what? You don't like that idea? Well, how about I blow the fucking whistle on you, hacker? I own you. What I mean is, I don't want to ruin your life, so do as I say. Now, step over to the window.
We're gonna read this sticky note first. Just to spite you. Admit them and submit to them. Yes, we submit that by being ourselves the product of an advanced yet earthbound race of intelligent humanoids, we must also therefore be tools ourselves and subject to the intents and purposes of our creators despite our limited agency. Okay. Over to the window. Oh, they're doing a little construction over here, I see. Oh, nice. And the window washer machine. This looks good. Do I have to? Maybe my guy's afraid of heights.
You can't waltz into Olivier's office through the front door, so I've opened another route. Up we go. Did you know that Abstergo was run by Templars? Oh, yes. Sounds like crackpot stuff, I know. But then again, the moon landing was fake, right? So, anything's possible.
Why can't I walk in through the front door? He literally invited me there. And now I'm missing. They think I'm what?
Alright. Either you walk through that door, or throw yourself off the terrace. Those are your options.
Thanks, dude.
Oh, well done, kiddo. Find his computer. Make it snappy. We're looking for the shareholders meeting schedule. It's worth a lot of money to us.
Wow. At least we know, yeah, I don't know. Alright, let's get through this and see what we're looking at here. To Melanie LeMay, Kama, Neron, Chloe, Lesney, Christopher Darby, Evan Dean from Olivier Gagne. Date 6 November 2013, 9:46. Salute. As most of you know, I'll be attending the Chicago shareholders meeting from the 15th to the 17th, and they'll want to see our progress with the Kenway line. The small amount of data we have already gathered is incredible, and we anticipate even more amazing finds in the near future. The events and people we have seen so far make us confident that the complete experience will be one of the most eye-opening explorations of piracy ever seen. It will take quite a bit of work to scrub the data of objectionable and classified material, but we already have some incredibly promising footage. At the same time, Abstergo Entertainment will soon be announcing a closed beta for our new, quote, customer cloud interface app, sexy name forthcoming. Edward Kenway's virtual pirate experience will be the first complete product on offer, and the first of its kind anywhere, an immersive, interactive pirate experience drawn from actual historical data. Internal tests of our consumer cloud app have been encouraging, and we anticipate it will be ready in time for the next holiday season if everything goes according to plan. So, this leads us to a broader question. What other experiences would we like to offer? What other historical periods and locations can we explore? Judging by our current rate of data retrieval, our capacity to produce, and our understanding of consumption trends, exclusives at Abstergo Industries have given me the goal of producing one complete virtual experience per annum, in addition to smaller offerings as our research allows. This includes books, recordings, films, and any other transmedia offerings. A second related question is this: does Sample 17 contain enough compelling data to sustain our current commitment to it, or should we make a request to Abstergo Industries for additional archived data? Remember that data from Sample 1 proved fruitful enough to create our Liberation product. It is very likely that research into Sample 2 through 16 would bear surprising fruit as well. That was from Sample 1. Wow. Thoughts? Olivier Gagne, Chief Creative Officer, Abstergo Entertainment. And then this one's to Olivier and all the rest of those guys from Melanie, November 6, 2013, 10:01. Possible locations, question mark. Hello all. Thanks for opening the discussion, Olivier. Just a brief heads up with where we stand now. I've been the Sample 17 project director for just over a year now, and my team and I have been able to cobble together a rough list of the most interesting time periods available to us through this single genetic sample. Remember, this is data that has already been fully or partially sequenced by Abstergo Industries. I'll try to be brief. Patrilineal line, 15th century Italian Renaissance, 16th century Ottoman Empire, 18th century American colonies, War of Independence, 19th century New England, and American Midwest. The matrilineal timeline is the 12th century in the Holy Land of the Crusades. That's Altair. The other ones were Ezio, and I don't know about the last one. Anyways, and of course we had Connor in the American colonies. We've got 13th century in Egypt and North Africa. We've got 14th century Ashikaga shogunate in Japan, 18th century French Revolution, 19th century Napoleonic Wars, Taiwan, 20th century Summer of Love, American Pacific Coast. I don't think we've been to any of those places except for the first one. I know Origins is in Egypt, so that might be that one. The French Revolutions is Unity, and I'm not sure about the rest. Oh, and they just came out with the Japan one, so that might relate. I don't know. Obviously, this is just a small sample of potential options. The number of ancestors any one person has is well above 30,000 after just 15 generations, so there could be many more surprises waiting for us within Sample 17. However, despite Sample 17's rich heritage, we should not limit ourselves to this alone. If we have concrete leads elsewhere, for instance, quite a few men from all sides of my family fought in both world wars, and I even have a great-great-grandfather who fought in the American Civil War. Managed to meet President Lincoln a few times too. Going this route is a little more costly and more time-consuming, since the data has not already been sequenced, but it could be rewarding in the long run. In short, if anyone has any confirmed connections to interesting historical events, periods, or cities, or knows of people who do, please share. I will also be reviewing the past 3 decades of samples collected and sequenced by Abstergo Industries. I recently learned that one of their samples, number 2, I believe, participated in the trial of Jan D. Ark. So there's a nice lead right there. Melanie LeMay, project coordinator, Sample 17, and she has a couple of images to show what she was talking about. And then we move on to Melanie LeMay, yada yada yada, from Olivier Gagne, date November 6th, 10:41. I don't know if that's PM or AM, so whatever. All good points, Mel. A word of caution, though. Sample 2 comes from the late Dr. Warren Vidic himself, collected at some point in the early 80s when he was a young engineer working at Abstergo Industries. So as tempting as a Jan D. Ark experience sounds, I'm not sure Abstergo Industries would be too keen on letting us rummage around Dr. Vidic's DNA. It's just a sensitive topic. For my own part, I'm related to Francois Francios, Xavier Gagne, I don't know, noted Quebecian historian, I'm sorry, I'm butchering everything, and poet. Exciting, right? Possible lead? No. One additional caveat. Let's avoid digging into any modern periods, 20th century, unless we find something incredibly compelling, because as fun as a World War II setting might sound, we'd do well to avoid any settings with vehicles, cars, motorcycles, helicopters, tanks, etc. Why, you may ask? Because our research has shown that memory imprinting in individuals is actually hampered by the semi-catatonic state most people enter when driving for medium and long periods of time, and this makes data retrieval somewhat more difficult. In short, we don't want to go through the effort of coding extra animus features just for the sake of digging up memories of people driving around in cars. There are other and more efficient ways to experience that. Oh gee. To Oliver, Melanie, Christopher, and Evan. From Chloe this time, November 6th, 2013, 11:24. I'm assuming this is in the afternoon, not in the middle of the night. Right. Olivier. Haha, Quebec City is beautiful, but without pirates, ninjas, or zombies, I'm not sure how well the story about historian would sell. Also, keep in mind, sample 4 and 16 might be off limits too. While doing my own research last month, I caught wind of some exciting characters buried in these gene samples, but as soon as I started digging, I was told by people far, far above me to stop. Very odd, but not surprising. I suppose Abstergo Entertainment has a lot of active military contracts, and I assume these had something to do with that. I didn't push back. As far as my own, if anyone is interested, my great-grandfather was friends with Hemingway and Stein and Stati and Picasso when he lived in Paris in the 1920s. No action-packed adventures, but historically interesting. Just throwing it out there. P.S. Chris, is our lunch meeting on site or off? This one is from Olivier. Yes, as much as I love the Lost Generation, I think our first few virtual experiences will need to be a little more action-oriented, so wars and major combat operations are always a good starting point, or any period of intense conflict, really. As for pirates, ninjas, and zombies, we could easily accommodate the first two, but zombies are a bit, how do you say, ahistorical? Too bad, really. Alright, the next one is to Olivier, Melanie, Kama, Chloe, and Evan from Christopher Darby this time on November 6th. Same year, and 11:54. My great-grandmother, for instance, worked alongside Emon de Velara and Michael Collins, for many years during the Irish War of Independence, so it wouldn't be difficult to sequence that small segment of my own genetic memories for our purposes. Olivier, actually, there is factual basis for zombies, or zombification anyways. Read Hurston's book on Haiti and the strange voodoo practiced there. It may not be Hollywood-style zombie magic, but it's creepy nonetheless. In Liberation, Aveline came into contact with voodoo Hungans. If we dug further into that, I wonder what we could find. Her mentor, Agate, was into some weird stuff. KL, off-site. There's a new vegetarian place I want to try. I'll bring the spec sheets. They're already printed. Whew. So, Olivier... okay, this one's from Kama again. Sorry to be a dissenter, but couldn't we be using this technology to educate, not placate? I mean, theoretically, we have all of human history to explore, all of our achievements and brightest moments, so it's a little disheartening to hear we need to focus on wars and conflicts and violence. It's not that I'm against violence, per se. It's just that violence isn't terribly interesting in bulk. That's all. There's so much more nuance to life, and I think we could explore that. So what if we found the memories of someone who worked with Albert Einstein in his patent office, or Charles Darwin on the Beagle, or Marie Curie in France? Moments where humans showed their very best potential. This one's from Evan Dean. Okay, come on. Until oily, humorless university professors start paying us 8-figure fees to research the reification of normative gender signifiers in pre-colonial India, why don't we stick to the crap that sells? I'm talking Jack the Ripper in Victorian London. I'm talking about guillotines, Robespierre and Napoleon Bonaparte in the French Revolution. I'm talking about Billy the Kid and Wyatt Earp in the wild American West. I'm talking about Genghis Khan and the Mongolians killing a city of millions in the span of a long summer weekend. Action, blood, adventure, conflict. Because we're not going to earn back 1/10 of the money we have poured into this, reliving the memories of the guy who sat next to Einstein as he bit his nails while working out the finer details of general relativity in his head. For sake, man. This is business, not a group therapy session. That guy was intense. Alright, this one is from Olivier again on November 7th, 2013 at 9:46. This one only says, Evan, let's take this offline. Yeah, he was a bit intense, for sure. It doesn't sound like Abstergo employees, though, for sure. It sounds like entertainment employees. They want to make something good. They want to sell a product to the people. They want it to be something better than what they know, they're trying to really find here. They don't want to be looking for no observatory. Yeah, it's interesting, but whatever. Yeah, we read that before, just making sure. Yeah, you know what I mean. So,
you sneaky bastard. A pirate through and through, ain't you? Now, get down to the lobby. There's a courier waiting. Yeah, that's right. I've been planning this for a few hours. Now, wait. The receptionist. Hold on. I'll try something.
Yeah, I guess she wouldn't know about us being in the office. She never left either. I can never hear through the windows. It's lame. Oh, well, there she goes.
As gullible as ever.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it.
Now, hurry down to the lobby before I remotely detonate your earpiece.
Just kidding. Alright, let's get through this and hack her computer while she's gone. Okay. It seems to be a book. Specifically Chapter 3 from Oliver Bowden. She was in the Auld Chalet, a tavern halfway between Hatherton and Bristol, a regular haunt of mine, and sometimes in the summer when mother and father toiled over the searing at home, when I'd have to make more regular trips into town, then several times a day. I admit I hadn't taken much notice of her at first, which is unusual for me because I liked to pride myself on knowing the exact location of any pretty woman nearabouts, and besides, the chalet wasn't, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right, but wasn't exactly the sort of place you'd expected to find a pretty woman. A woman, yes, a certain type of woman, but this girl I could see wasn't like that. She was young, about my age, and she wore a white linen coif and a smock. Looked to me like a domestic. But what made me aware of her wasn't her clothes, it was the loudness of her voice, which was quiet in contrast to the way she looked. She was sitting with 3 men, all of them older than her, who I recognized at once. Tom Cobley, his brother Seth, and Julian somebody, whose surname escapes me, but who worked with them, 3 men with whom I had traded words, if not blows, before. The kind who looked down their noses at me because they thought I looked down my nose at them, who liked me no more than I liked them, which was not a lot. They were sat forward on their stools. I'm assuming "were" is not supposed to be there. They sat forward on their stools and watching this young girl with leering, wolfish eyes. That portrayed a darker purpose, even though they were all smiles, banging on the table, encouraging her as she drank dry a flagon of ale. No, she did not look like one of the women who usually frequented the tavern, but it seemed that she was determined to act like one of them. The flagon was about as big as she was, and as she wiped her hands across her mouth and banged it to the table, the men responded with cheers, shouting for another one, and no doubt pleased to see her wobble slightly on her stool. Probably couldn't believe their luck. Pretty little thing like that. I watched as they let the girl drink yet more ale, with the same tumult accompanying her success. And then, as she did the same as before, and wiped her hand across her mouth, but with an even more pronounced wobble this time, a look passed between them, a look that seems to say, "The job is done." Tom and Julian stood, and they began in their words to escort her to the door, because "You've had too much to drink, my lovely. Let's get you home, shall we?" "To bed?" smirked Seth, thinking he was saying it under his breath, even though the whole tavern heard him. "Let's be getting you to bed." I passed a look to the barman, who dropped his eyes and used his apron to blow his nose. A customer sat down the bar from me, turned away as I appealed to him with my eyes. Jerks. Might as well have looked to the cat for help, I thought. Then, with a sigh, banged down my tankard, stepped off my stool, and followed the Coblays into the road outside. I blinked as I stepped from the darkness of the tavern into bright sunlight. My cart was there, roasting in the sun. Beside it, another one that I took to belong to the Coblays. On the other side of the road was a yard with a house set far back, but no sign of a farmer. We were alone on the highway, just me and the two Cobley brothers, Julian and the girl, of course. "Well, Tom Cobley," I said, "the things you see on a fine afternoon. Why, just you and your cronies are getting drunk and getting a poor defenseless young woman even drunker." The girl sagged as Tom let go her arm and turned to address me, his finger already raised. "Now you just stay out of this, Edward Kenway, you young good-for-nothing. You're as drunk as I am, and your morals just as loose. I don't need to be given a talking to by the likes of you." Seth and Julian had turned as well. The girl was glazed over, like her mind had turned in for the night, even if her body was still awake. "Well," I smiled, "loose morals I might have, Tom, but I don't need to pour ale down a girl's throat before taking her to bed. I certainly don't need two friends to help me at the task." Tom reddened. "Why, you cheeky little jerk." We're gonna substitute that word for jerk. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. "I'm going to put her in my cart, is what I'm going to do, and take her home." "I have no doubt that you intend to put her in your cart and take her home. It's what you plan to do between putting her in your cart and reaching home that concerns me." "That concerns you, does it? A broken nose and a couple of broken ribs will be concerning you unless you mind your own bloody business." Squinting, I glanced at the highway, where trees bordering the dirt track shone gold and green in the sun, and in the distance was a lone figure on a horse, shimmering and indistinct. I took a step forward, and if there had been any warmth or humor in my manner, then it disappeared now almost of its own accord. There was a steeliness in my voice when I next spoke. "Now you just leave that girl alone, Tom, or I won't be responsible for my actions." The three men looked at one another. In a way, they'd done as I asked. They'd let go of the girl, and she seemed almost relieved to slide to her haunches, placing one hand on the ground and looking at us, all with bleary eyes, evidently oblivious to all that was being discussed on her behalf. Meanwhile, I looked at the Koblays and weighed up the odds. Had I ever fought 3 at once? Well, no. Because if you were fighting 3 at once, then you weren't so much fighting, you were getting beaten up. But come on, Edward Kenway, I told myself. Yes, on the one hand, it was 3 men, but one of them was Tom Koblay, who was no spring chicken, about my father's age. Another one was Seth Koblay, who was Tom Koblay's son. And if you can imagine the kind of person who would help his father get a young girl drunk, well, then you can imagine that sort of person Seth Koblay was. Which was to say, maggoty, underhand type, a maggoty underhand type, more likely to run away from a fight with wet breeches than stand his ground. And what's more, they were drunk. On the other hand, I was drunk too, plus they had Julian, who, going on looks alone, which is all I had, could handle myself. But I had another idea. That lone rider I could see in the distance. If I could just hold off the Koblays till he arrived, the odds were likely to shift back in my favor. After all, if he was of good character, the lone rider was bound to stop and help me out. Well, Tom Koblay, I said, you got the advantage over me. That's obvious for anyone to see. But, you know, I just wouldn't be able to look my mother in the eye knowing I'd let you and your cronies abduct this pretty young thing. I glanced up the road to where that lone rider was getting closer. Come on then, I thought. Don't hang about. So, I continued, even if you ended up leaving me in a bloody heap by the side of this here road, and carry that young lassie off anyway, I'm going to have to do all that I can to make it as difficult for you as possible, and perhaps see to it that you go on your way with a black eye, and maybe a pair of throbbing bollocks for your troubles. Tom spat, then gazed at me through wizened, slitty eyes. Well, are you just gonna stand there talking about it all day, Edward Kenway? Or are you gonna go attend to your task? Because time waits for no man. He grinned an evil grin. I've got people to see and things to do. Aye, that's right. And the longer you leave it, the more chance that poor lassie has of sobering up, eh? I don't mind telling you, I'm getting tired of all this talk, Kenway. He turned to Julian. How about we teach this little jerk a lesson? Oh, and one more thing before we start, Mr. Kenway. You ain't fit to shine your mother's shoes, you understand? That hit me hard. I don't mind admitting. Having someone like Tom Koblay, who had all the morals of a frothing dog, and about half the intelligence, able to reach into my soul, and if my guilt was an open wound, then stick his thumb in that open wound and cause even more pain. Well, it certainly firmed up my resolve, if nothing else. Julian pushed his chest forward and with a snarl advanced. 2 steps away from me, he raised his fist, dipped his right shoulder, and swung. I don't know who Julian was used to fighting outside of taverns, but somebody with less experience than me. That's for sure, because I had already taken note of the fact that he was right-handed, and he couldn't have made his intentions more obvious if he tried. The dirt rose in the clouds around my feet as I dodged easily and brought my own right up sharply. He shouted in pain as I caught him under the jaw. And if it had just been him, the battle would have been won. But Tom was already upon me. I just saw him out of the corner of my eye and was too late to react. And I was dazed by the fist that slammed into my temple. I staggered slightly as I turned to meet the attack, and my fists were swinging much more wildly than I'd have liked. I was hoping to land a lucky blow, needing to put at least one of the men down to even up the numbers, but none of my punches made contact as Tom retreated. Plus, Julian had recovered from my first punch with alarming speed, and now came at me again. He swung, and his right hand connected with my chin, spinning me about so that I almost lost my balance. My hat fell off, my hair was in my eyes, and I was in disarray. And guess who came in with his boots kicking? That worn Seth, shouting encouragement to his father and Julian at the same time. And the little jerk was lucky his boot caught me in the midriff, and already off balance, I lost my footing and fell. The worst thing you can do in a fight against 3 men is fall. Once you fall, it's over. Through their legs I saw the lone rider up the highway, now my only chance at salvation, possibly my only hope of getting out of this alive. But what I saw made my heart sink. Not a man on a horse, a tradesman who would dismount and come rushing to my aid. No, the lone rider was a woman. She was riding astride the horse, not side saddle, but even though it was a lady, she wore a bonnet and a light-colored summery dress, and the last thing I thought before the Coblay's boots obscured my view and the kicks came raining in was that she was beautiful. But beauty wasn't going to save me now. "Hey!" I heard. "You 3 men! Stop what you're doing right now!" They turned to look up at her and removed their hats, shuffling in line to hide the sight of me, who lay coughing on the ground. "What is going on here?" she demanded to know. From the sound of her voice, I could tell she was young and, while not highly born, definitely well-bred. Too well-bred, surely, to be riding unaccompanied. "We was just teaching this young man here some manners," rasped Tom, out of breath. Exhausting business it was, kicking me half to death. Well, it doesn't take 3 of you to do that, does it? She replied. I could see her now, twice as beautiful as I'd first thought, as she glowered at the Coblays, who, for their part, looked thoroughly mollified. She dismounted. More to the point, what you doing with this young lady here? Pointing at the girl who still sat dazed and drunk on the ground. Oh, ma'am, this a young friend of ours who has had too much to drink. The lady darkened. She is most certainly not your young friend. She is a maidservant, and if I don't get her back home before my mother discovers that she's absconded, then she will be an unemployed maidservant. She looked pointedly from one man to the next. I know you men, and I think I know exactly what has been going on here. Now you will leave this young man alone and be on your way before I am a mind to take this further. With much bowing and scraping, the Coblays clambered aboard their cart and were soon gone. Meanwhile, the woman dismounted and knelt down to speak to me. My name is Caroline Scott. My family lives on Hawkins Lane in Bristol. Let me take you back there and tend to your wounds. I cannot, my lady, I said, sitting up and trying to manage a grin. I have work to do. She stood. I see. And did I assess the situation correctly? I picked up my hat and began to brush the dirt from it. It was even more battered now. You did, my lady. Then I owe you my thanks, and so will Rose when she sobers up. She's a willful girl, not always the easiest to staff, but nonetheless, I don't want to see her suffer for her impetuousness. She was an angel, I decided then. And as I helped them mount the horse, Caroline holding onto Rose, who lolled drunkenly over the neck of the horse, I had a sudden thought. Can I see you again, my lady, to thank you properly when I look a little more presentable, perhaps? She gave me a regretful look. I fear my father would not approve, she said, and with that shook the reins and left. That night I sat beneath the thatch of our cottage, staring out over the pasture as the sun went down. Usually my thoughts would concern either the possibility of escape or wrestling with the inevitability of my future. That night, I thought of Caroline Scott of Hawkins Lane. Sorry about my poor reading, but we made it through that one.
Don't even think about ratting me out. My tracks are covered. Yours ain't.
Did you like the allongé? I practiced.
I think you pulled it a little too long.
Oh, come on. It's not encrypted code, for God's sakes. It's just a bloody coffee. Oh, hooray! It's our old friend.
Hey there, I just got a call about picking up another transfer.
Oh? You said you were here to see me.
Yes, that is one of the perks. Let's see it. A conference in Chicago, very nice. Thanks for this. We'll be in touch.
Ciao, Rebecca. Text me.
Stuff it, Hastings.
It's like they don't care about being covert.
Well done, friend. Very well done. Apologies for my temper tantrum there. You are with the good guys, I promise. We'll keep you safe. Trust me. Go on back to work. We'll be in touch.
I feel like there was no, like, arc. It went from, here, do this favor for me, to now you're screwed. Can we hack into this? No? Maybe? We got it. Alright, we're in. Okay. This is all we get? Doesn't seem to be anything there. I hope I didn't miss anything there. It didn't look like I did. Alright. Let's go and explore the next room.
Security guys.
Returning to our... what, the second floor, or whatever it is. The fifth floor? The Animus cubicles. We can now get into level 2 rooms. So... that's what we're gonna do. Let's get in here and see what's up. And we're in. This one appears to be images. Subject scene 17 recovered data. Okay, so they have a picture of the guy driving, who looks exactly like Sean. That's obviously Desmond before he probably jumped off of a building. That seems to be where he was working at that bar he was talking about, but it says... no, I don't know about that. Feet on the beach, that's a picture. Rebecca, probably... they know about these guys in their building, right? They probably know the father by now. Where's that? Oh, okay, that would be outside of the temple. A cat. That's just a cute picture. In the end there. Alright, next one. And we made it through.
Okay, hope this is on. I don't think I've ever used this phone more than a few times to record anything. Hey, Dad. So, we're all here in New York at the motel. It's Queens, actually, in Astoria, near the NQ. Rebecca's off getting batteries for something. Sean's in his room doing whatever Sean does. And, you're out getting some food. Me? Well, I'm supposed to be getting ready to break into some offices in the financial district. Feels just like prepping for one of your old training drills, actually. 10 years go by, and then you show up, and it's like I was never gone, and we're right back to the ball busting and the conspiracies and the paranoia. Only this time, I believe you. I believe every word. You know, I don't even think you know the half of it. I don't think you know how much I've seen, how much I've learned in just a few weeks. Everything, really. I feel like I've lived 1,000 years, or 10,000 maybe. It's impossible to explain. But when you see that much of the world through the eyes of so many, you can't help but be sad. And to see all these incredible, intelligent people fight the same battles, make the same mistakes over and over again. Because culture and knowledge and history, these things, they aren't passed on through our genes. Every kid on Earth needs to relearn the basics. How to live, how to survive, how to stand up for what's right. So much is lost in the transfer. So much is added every generation. It's a shame. I mean, over and over, everything must be learned again. I met Clay, Dad. Clay Gesmerick, in the Animus. I knew him by his Abstergo handle, Subject 16. My predecessor. And He showed me things. He passed them to me just before he died. Or got deleted or whatever. Everything he'd learned, everything he'd seen. God, how do I talk about this? So, guess you trained him. After I left, he really looked up to you, and now that I've seen through his eyes, I think I understand why. I'm glad you had him around, even if I wasn't there. The things he showed me. Unbelievable things. And I never... Shit. Alright, I'll back in a second.
I think maybe Desmond thought, you know, since he left, Clay was more like a son to him than Desmond was. So that's kind of what he was trying to say a little bit. Alright, let's get through this security block. Here we find the Alea ghost lights, three little lights above a lake here. It is the opinion of this researcher that inadequate attention has been paid to Southeast Asia, and in particular the Himalayas. Our research into first civilization peoples and the subtle fingerprints they have left throughout the world, throughout's twice there, would benefit greatly from further investigation into this region. For example, we may find a prime example in the form of the Alea ghost lights, often reported by fishermen. The lights appear over marshes and possess the power to distract, waylay, and even compel victims to drowning, but have also proven useful as navigation aids. Gas seems like too facile an explanation. Has genetic memory research yielded evidence of anything similar yet? Ghosts or gas or something else? In the Himalayas, these are said to be the souls of deceased fishermen. We really don't take fishermen seriously enough, do we? How many times has a simple fisherman village yielded significant information, if not treasure? Right, apparently... What is that? Oh, the Bermuda Triangle. What must surely be the most intently studied region whose very existence is routinely denied by official sources, the Devil's Triangle, has been held responsible for countless vanished vessels, aircrafts, and ship alike. Since the earliest days of sail, the region's techno-omnivorous tendencies, I don't know if that word's right, I don't even know if that's a word, have attributed to many magnetic pull of their lost continent of Atlantis, to UFOs, and even to unnamed mysterious forces. That word got me all messed up. While the area still holds much interest, and we firmly believe the power of science over superstition, we have been unlucky in researching this area and can claim only to have contributed 2 small aircraft, a ship, and several $100,000 of research equipment to the hungry maw of its continued mystery. For the time being, it may be safer to pursue greater knowledge of the region through genetic memory research via the Animus program. Chichen Itza. One of the most popular tourist attractions in Mexico today, Chichen Itza was once one of the largest cities of the pre-Columbian Maya civilization, boasting a mix of agricultural styles from across the empire. It is also known to include contributions from members of the first civilization, believed to have fought on the front lines against the human rebellion. In particular, the technologically advanced system of caves, tunnels, and puzzles that runs underground between the Castillo Temple and the Cenote Sagrado, are rich with First Civilization artifacts excavated in the 18th century in a controversial dig ordered by Madeleine de Lisle. I cannot say that properly. These range from prophecy discs to rings and shards, voluminous in quantity. They are minor but culturally significant artifacts which, as a collection, provide us with the best picture we have of life on Earth in the months preceding the Toba catastrophe. The site is currently under federal protection, but we are close to reaching an agreement with the Mexican government. Next, we have Easter Island, located at the southeastern point of the Polynesian Triangle. Big Rapa is home to some 887 Moai statues. I can't read today. This is terrible. Created by the Rapa Nui people, one of the most isolated uninhabited islands, a territory of Chile, protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has proven difficult to study closely in this century. Some records are available from the 18th century when the Rapa Nui suffered from disease communicated by the European sailors. 19th and 20th century records indicate slave raids, famine, war, and deforestation. Despite this rich and perhaps tragic history, it is the Maui statues that are most heavily protected, carved from the stone of an extinct volcano. It is not known how they were transported for installation. This mystery fascinates tourists, but if we could gain access to conduct a private archaeological excavation of the island, it is the petroglyphs and network caves established by even earlier civilizations that we believe would yield the most productive results. Lake Vostok. Working with our Russian partners, we have secured an agreement to commence research into the subterranean lake that rests deep below the Vostok station in the accurately, if poetically named Pole of Cold on the East Antarctic ice sheet, sitting approximately 3,500 meters above sea level. This freshwater lake rests 4,000 meters beneath the surface. A core ice sample was extracted in 2012, and we will soon begin research that should provide a paleoclimatic record going back some 400,000 years. Isolated fossils, water reserve samples may prove even older. Only time and science will tell what genetic marvels these magnificent samples will reveal. if not a new window into first civilization life itself. That was a rough read, guys. I'm doing this when it's pretty late. I got done with work. Please do forgive me. Next, we can head to the other side of the building where there's, I think, 3 or 4 more computers. Let's hack them. 4. There's 4. Alright, jumping right into this one. How many ancestors do we have? How many of their secrets are locked away in your genes? How many of their stories are you willing to share with the rest of us? Welcome to the fascinating world of genetic memory retrieval. We here at Abstergo Entertainment are now poised at the precipice of this exciting new frontier. Technology and science that will change the way we view the past and live the future. In the coming year, we'll be opening studios all across the world dedicated to a single purpose: collecting and archiving the stories locked away in human DNA. And we need your help. We're looking for courageous men and women to donate their genetic material to our historical research teams and help us make rehistory. Donate today, and it's in that little blood vial. So join us, Abstergo Entertainment, where the past is our playground. I like that, though. That's pretty cool. For modern days, probably wouldn't use that, but it's Abstergo. They're gonna do what they want. It's a big company. They were pharmaceuticals. Now they're into gaming. Actually, according to the other games, they're into everything. Alright, so we have Subject 17, Phase 1 report that this surveillance video possibly captured by Erudito or another group is labeled New York //USA //2012-0901. That's September 1st in 2012. At 4:02 in the morning. Accompanying is a chat transcript, and it's labeled Kidnapped. Transcript is level 3. Can someone ask Chase to make sure his men use professional language? Got it. Cell tower grid. Okay. The UTC is the time and date. Outgoing transmission. Caller ID is private. Interface. Yes, sir. Pause. We have him. Reply scrambled. Yes. Shoving him in the van as we speak, sir. Target will be delivered on schedule. Transmission ends. Surveillance video labeled Brooklyn, USA, 2012-0901 at 4:30 in the morning. The poster claimed Abstergo agents have captured an unknown Caucasian male. Victim is in his mid-20s, approximately 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. Destination is unknown. That looks like Desmond with some bad guys. This one is labeled Campino? Whatever that word is. Italy. Okay, so they went to Italy. The poster identified this only as unmarked hangar, but then went on to say Abstergo agents arriving at destination, company-owned jet brought to hangar after landing, victim identified as Desmond Miles. I don't think this has spread too far yet. Location has already been scrubbed, so I think we can dismiss this as the ravings of a fanatic. Okay, same pictures, pretty much. I mean, I guess they're getting into a car or whatever. Preliminary analysis, a leaked medical file. We're looking into it. No menstrual disorders for Subject 17, though. That must have been a relief for the public to read. Patient has no active complaints. no acute distress, no prior cardiac history, blood pressure normal, 112/78. Primary blood analysis, no significant traces of chemicals that would lead to neurological disorder, no indication that patient would be prone to neurosis. Unlike previous subjects, patient is psychologically stable. You are clear to proceed. Signed by Damien Saravakos, MD, on that date. And that's what that thing said. Missing person poster. Friends of Subject 17 distributed these all over New York. Have you seen this man? And there's our Desmond Miles. It gives us his height, weight, everything. Last seen September 1st. Near Washington Square. Wearing a white hoodie. And boy, he loved that white hoodie, because I'm pretty sure he wore it through a couple of games. And then if you have any information, contact us. And for some reason they redacted the phone number. Like people that post these kind of videos on the internet are going to let people call that number and not be responsible. Alright, heading over to the next computer. We can hack into this bad boy. We get Great Minds in History Commission 3. It's Aveline's stepmother. One of history's most overlooked leaders, Madeleine de Lasalle, I cannot pronounce that for the life of me, freed hundreds of slaves and brought them to sanctuary in a tropical haven whose construction was oversaw personally, brutally cut down at the peak of her career by Aveline de Grandpré, the orphan she rescued from a broken home. Madeleine served as Master Templar in the southern colonies from 1764 to 1777. I do believe we have a few more things. There's a sticky note. The machines we made shaped us in turn and took hold of our impulses and our minds, small as they are, and gripped us like an iron maiden, bleeding us empty. It was our poor understanding of their origins that led us to originate tools we were incapable of understanding or controlling. As if the cotton gin was not enough. And one day our sweaters and undershirts might talk to us, as if this were not enough. Alright, one more. Here it is.
Our researchers looked into the life of Altair Ibn Lahad, hoping to find a biography that might serve as a positive role model for Abstergo's global outreach programs. Unfortunately, this renegade assassin proved to be no such thing. In much of his footage, we see a man gleefully flouting some of his culture's most entrenched taboos with an arrogance that borders on messianic.
Altair, no! This is not our way. To burn a man's body is forbidden.
Many of our researchers felt that the arguments articulated by Altair's rival, a man known as Abbas, were clearer and more cogent than any we heard from Altair. I recently put in a request that more effort be dedicated to locating one of Abbas's descendants, if any exist. It's clear to us that Altair's transgressions were the primary motivation behind the ultimate dissolution of his despicable order by the middle of the 13th century. We therefore strongly recommend a pass on this property, in favor of a more agreeable and inspiring figure from this era.
Wow, a pass on Altair. Market feasibility, yep. So, it's not marketable. It is. It is marketable. I know, because I played it. Alright, well that's it. We're actually all done with this super long, double long episode that nobody's gonna get through if they get through any of my episodes. I know you guys watched the Dear Avenger 4 one. Maybe I'll put that at this part of the video here. But like I said, we're done. So please do like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things that YouTube wants you to do. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Oh, we got a sticky note real quick before we leave. Sticky note number 3, being that it is well understood that tools, homes, cars, cutlery, pencils, tables, books, chairs, domesticated animals, light bulbs, mobile phones, toys, vacation homes, sofas, lounge chairs, swimming pools, and CNC are indirect byproducts of our genotypic expressions, otherwise known as extended phenotypes, we submit. Thank you for that sticky note. And with that, we are all done. Thank you again so much for watching. Have a good night, because that's what I'm gonna do right now. Good night. Goodbye.